Nature might seem like a brutal game where predators always win, but things aren't always that simple. Some creatures have evolved jaw-dropping defenses that make them nearly impossible to eat. From toxic bodies to foul tastes and clever disguises, these animals turn the rules of survival upside down. Stick around as we explore some of the strangest species no predator wants on the menu. You won't believe what's out there. Turtle outsmarts alligator. Not many creatures dare to challenge an alligator and live to tell the tale. These powerful reptiles have ruled swamps and rivers for millions of years, eating everything from fish and birds to, in rare cases, humans. But in a surprising twist caught on camera, one small turtle proved that survival sometimes comes down to patience, armor, and a bit of luck. Filmed at Hilton Head Island in South Carolina, this unforgettable moment went viral 3 years ago and has since racked up over 43 million views on YouTube. In the clip, an alligator clutches a turtle tightly in its jaws while resting on a grassy riverbank. With its crushing bite force, it should have been a quick victory. But nature doesn't always go by the book. Despite the terrifying grip, the turtle's tough shell proved to be a game-changer. The alligator tried over and over to crush and swallow the turtle, but each attempt failed. The shell, shaped by millions of years of evolution, gave just enough protection for the turtle to slip through the predator's jaws, almost like a bar of soap slipping from your hand. Eventually, the alligator gives up, visibly frustrated. The turtle walks away, not just alive, but victorious. It's not just a lucky escape. It's a perfect example of how defense can beat raw power. This moment isn't just entertaining, it's a powerful lesson in resilience. The turtle didn't fight back, yet it survived by holding strong. Crocodile's fatal mistake. In the wild, power alone doesn't guarantee safety, and this becomes painfully clear when a crocodile miscalculates its chances against an elephant. Despite their peaceful nature, elephants are known to flip into full defense mode when their calves are threatened. This wasn't just an ordinary day at the waterhole, it turned into a brutal reminder of what happens when a predator crosses the line. As the herd slowly approached the water's edge, a lurking crocodile spotted an opportunity. With lightning speed, it lunged and latched onto a young elephant's trunk. The calf panicked, thrashing and trumpeting in distress, but it wasn't alone. Within seconds, a massive adult elephant, likely the matriarch or a protective bull, stepped in without hesitation. One powerful move was all it took. The crocodile knew it had messed with the wrong herd. Outnumbered and vulnerable, it slithered back into the murky depths. But the tension didn't stop there. In another failed ambush, a second crocodile tried to repeat the attack. The baby elephant froze momentarily, stunned by the sudden strike. But instead of fleeing, it fought back. It used its trunk and feet to pummel the reptile repeatedly until the grip broke. What began as a surprise attack ended with the crocodile possibly injured and definitely humiliated. These moments aren't just dramatic. They reveal the intelligence, coordination, and raw defensive instincts of elephants. They also expose the risks crocodiles face in this high-stakes survival game. One wrong move, and the hunter becomes the hunted. Komodo's deadly mistake. In the wild heart of Indonesia's Komodo National Park, something rare and unsettling was caught on camera. A full-grown Komodo dragon, one of Earth's most brutal predators, attempted to devour a moray eel in one swift gulp. For a creature known to tear through deer, buffalo, and even other dragons, this seemed like routine feeding, but within seconds, everything went wrong. Komodo dragons are ruthless, armed with serrated teeth, venomous saliva, and a jaw that unhinges to devour prey whole. They're built for destruction, but they're not infallible. As the dragon swallowed the writhing eel, what followed stunned both witnesses and scientists. The lizard began violently vomiting. What went so terribly wrong? Experts believe this particular eel wasn't just a slippery snack, it was toxic. Many tropical moray eels are coated in a slime filled with natural toxins, designed not just to deter predators but to make eating them a genuine risk. This eel's mucus triggered an immediate response. The Komodo dragon, overwhelmed by the eel's chemical defenses, had no choice but to reject the meal. This moment sheds light on a rarely seen weakness in one of the planet's most feared hunters. It also reveals an ongoing evolutionary arms race in Indonesia's complex food web, where prey like eels have developed silent weapons powerful enough to force even the king of predators to retreat. Goat turns the table. A mountain lion closes in, confident in its next easy kill. But it's about to get the shock of its life. Mountain goats are often seen as helpless, passive, and easy targets in the wild. They lack fangs, claws, or speed, and they usually avoid confrontation at all costs. But what happens when cornered prey decides to fight back? In this unexpected mountain standoff, everything changes. Perched high in the rocky cliffs, a mountain goat goes about its day, unaware that a skilled predator is stalking its every move. The terrain offers no protection. Both animals are expert climbers, and there's nowhere to hide. The mountain lion inches closer, calculating every step. With the goat pushed to the edge of a cliff, it seems like the hunt is over. But just when defeat seems certain, the goat pulls off a move no one saw coming. It maneuvers around the predator, gaining the upper hand, literally. Now, standing above the lion, the roles flip. What was once prey becomes a surprising threat. The goat lunges forward, aiming its sharp horns directly at the lion. Startled and caught off guard, the predator dodges narrowly, stunned by the goat's bold retaliation. The mountain lion, once confident, now finds itself scrambling to escape. This encounter turns the script of predator and prey upside down, reminding us that in nature, nothing is guaranteed. And sometimes, the fight to survive brings out the most astonishing behavior. When prey strikes back. When a cheetah locks eyes on a gazelle, most would bet on the predator. After all, cheetahs are built for speed and precision. But in this encounter, things didn't go as expected. The cheetah managed to latch onto the gazelle, clawing and biting with intensity. Just when the gazelle seemed to be losing, the situation changed dramatically. With more cheetahs joining the attack, it looked like the end. But this gazelle fought back, dragging one of the cheetahs down and using its sharp horns to strike. The surprise counterattack scattered the rest of the cheetahs, giving the gazelle just enough time to escape. One predator was left bleeding behind, defeated by its own prey. These encounters reveal that the wild isn't always predictable. Prey doesn't always flee. Sometimes it fights back with force, strategy, and instinct. World's greediest snake. When we talk about snakes with giant appetites, most people imagine massive pythons swallowing deer or crocodiles whole. But what if the real eating champion is a snake so small you could hold it in one hand? Meet the Gans egg-eater, a harmless African snake that's rewriting the rules of reptile digestion. Unlike the intimidating Burmese python, known for devouring animals its size or larger, the Gans egg-eater specializes in something unexpected. Eggs. Whole eggs. No chewing, no crushing. And here's the twist. It can swallow prey far larger, relative to its body size, than any of the heavyweight champions of the snake world. Biologist Bruce Jane from the University of Cincinnati found that this little reptile can outperform the biggest snakes on Earth when the prey-to-body ratio is adjusted for size. In fact, if such a record existed, this snake could easily claim the title of the most extreme eater in the animal kingdom. What's even more fascinating is its instinct. When an egg is too large, the snake won't even try to digest it. Instead, it rejects it to avoid internal injury. This decision-making ability isn't just survival, it's strategy. In the wild, every meal counts, but the wrong choice could be fatal. Porcupine versus leopard. Leopards are fierce predators, known for their stealth and strength. But what happens when their chosen prey turns out to be more dangerous than expected? In this gripping encounter, a leopard takes on a porcupine and learns the hard way why that was a mistake. The chase is brutal, with the predator already bleeding from multiple quill injuries. You can see it: bloody paws, heavy breathing, and a growing look of desperation. Porcupines may not look threatening, but those quills are more than just a defense. They're a weapon, sharp, barbed, and capable of sinking deep into flesh. They turn the hunted into the hunter. The leopard tries every trick it knows, lunging from the sides, circling to find an opening, but the porcupine stays alert, adjusting its position just enough to keep its sharp armor aimed right at the danger. And this isn't a one-time incident. In another case, a leopard attempts the same hunt. It stalks cautiously, avoids the direct attack, and goes for the less protected flanks. But the porcupine adapts again, using its body like a moving fortress. Each time the leopard strikes, it gets pushed back, physically and psychologically. Eventually, both leopards make the same decision: retreat. Wounded, exhausted, and humiliated, they leave the battlefield. Meanwhile, the porcupines walk away, slow, calm, and completely victorious. Seagull versus starfish. A seagull swoops down, grabs a starfish, and in seconds, it begins the impossible task of swallowing it whole. At first glance, it seems like just another bizarre moment in nature, But what happens next turns it into a tense standoff between predator and prey. The starfish, with its rigid arms splayed wide, refuses to go down easily. It's not just about size. Some species of starfish have tough exteriors, slippery textures, or even chemical defenses that could harm the bird. This isn't just a simple feeding attempt, it's a test of survival and biology. The gull's throat stretches to its limits, while the starfish's unyielding shape juts out of the bird's beak like jagged edges. What looks like a meal could quickly become a fatal mistake. One wrong move, and the gull could choke, become poisoned, or be forced to regurgitate its hard-won prey. Moments like this offer a rare look at how animals don't just fight to eat, but also to digest. Evolution has crafted incredible defenses for creatures like the starfish, turning them from passive bottom dwellers into last-minute escape artists. And gulls? Their reputation as trash scavengers hides just how far they'll push their anatomy for a meal. Will the gull overcome the challenge, or will nature's design force it to admit defeat? The ending might surprise you, but the struggle shows how even the most common animals can reveal nature's strangest battles. Clash of the Beasts. Just minutes before leaving Kruger National Park, two visitors witnessed a brutal and rare showdown, one that few ever see in the wild. What started as a calm drive near Biamithi Camp turned into a front-row seat to nature's rawest form of survival. A fierce battle between a honey badger and a male leopard. But this wasn't a quick hunt. It was a clash of two fearless predators, both known for their ferocity and refusal to back down. The honey badger, famous for its thick skin and boldness, nearly escaped several times. Each time it twisted free, the leopard's reflexes brought it down again. Viewers can see the leopard try to end the fight with a bite, but the badger's strength and relentless growls show it wasn't giving in easily. Even after being struck in the paw and neck, the badger kept fighting back with every bit of energy it had. What added even more tension to the encounter? The leopard itself had an injured ear from a previous battle. This wasn't just predator versus prey, it was a wounded hunter versus a beast built to survive anything. As the badger's cries grew faint and the leopard finally dragged it away, the air was thick with silence and disbelief. The witnesses didn't just capture a rare moment, they documented the brutal reality of nature, where survival depends on strategy, strength, and timing. Bison's brutal stand. In the wild plains of North America, survival is a daily battle. Bison may be herbivores, but make no mistake, they're not defenseless. With massive frames and lethal horns, these animals have earned a reputation for being one of the most dangerous herbivores to confront. Predators like wolves and grizzly bears roam these same regions, constantly on the lookout for their next meal. Bison, especially calves, are prime targets. They offer a large reward, but hunting them comes with serious risks. Wolves, the most frequent hunters of bison, rely on pack tactics to succeed. They isolate weaker individuals and work together to bring them down. But when they miscalculate, things can turn deadly for them. A fully grown bison isn't just strong, it's strategic. And a mother bison, when separated from her calf, can turn into a force of nature that even seasoned predators hesitate to engage. One chilling example reveals just how fierce bison can be. A pack of wolves cornered a mother and her young after chasing the herd. With nowhere to run, the mother faced off with the attackers alone. What happened next surprised even wildlife experts. She didn't back down. She charged headfirst into the pack. The wolves, known for their coordination and stamina, scattered. They circled, tested her, and tried to wear her down, but the bison held her ground, forcing them into hesitation. Her determination worked. The longer she held the line, the closer the rest of the herd drew back. Wolves know better than to fight a united bison group. Soon they retreated before risking serious injury or death. This wasn't just survival, it was strategy, instinct, and raw power at play. It proves that in the animal kingdom, bravery isn't reserved for predators. Sometimes the most powerful stand comes from the prey. Cat versus snake. Cats are built for the hunt, swift, silent, and fiercely confident. Armed with razor-sharp claws, quick reflexes, and a crushing bite, they've earned their place among nature's most skilled predators. But what happens when instinct meets a hidden threat? In this gripping encounter, a confident feline spots a snake slithering in its path. With instincts kicking in, the cat springs into action, certain this will be another quick conquest. It swipes, pounces, and tries to trap the serpent with precision. For a moment, it seems the cat dominates the fight. But nature has its own way of turning the tables. As the struggle intensifies, the snake, backed into a corner, strikes back with shocking speed. A bite, so fast it's almost invisible, lands on the cat's face. At first, there's silence. Then, the aftermath begins. The cat stumbles. Its mouth foams. Its muscles twitch. These are not signs of victory, but symptoms of venom racing through its system. The very traits that made the cat a threat, its boldness, speed, and strength, have now put it in grave danger. This wasn't just a battle of predator and prey, it was a clash between two survival strategies, agility versus venom. And in this case, arrogance may have cost the cat dearly. Will it manage to shake off the venom and walk away from the fight? Or has this fearless hunter fallen victim to an opponent it underestimated? There's more to this story than a simple animal brawl. It's a lesson in survival, risk, and the unpredictable twists of nature's food chain. Stay with us to see how this battle ends and what it teaches us about the true dangers lurking behind overconfidence. Buffaloes strike back. Buffaloes are not just prey, they are warriors. These powerful herbivores are known to turn the tables on predators, and when they do, the outcome is brutal. Lions, often considered kings of the savannah, quickly learn that messing with the wrong buffalo can end in disaster. In one chilling encounter, a desperate lion targets a calf, unaware that its plan will be shattered by an oncoming wall of fury. The herd gathers. There's hesitation at first, but then, like a wave, they charge. Mobbing isn't just a tactic, it's survival. The buffalo move in unison, aiming their horns with deadly precision. One charges straight at the lion, nearly tossing it into the air. The lion barely escapes, its body grazed, pride wounded, and confidence shattered. But it doesn't end there. This lion was clearly starving, its ribs visible, its steps unsure. Maybe it thought the calf would be an easy meal, but buffaloes are not passive. The tables quickly turn. With no pack to support him, the lion is overwhelmed. A buffalo strikes hard. Horns pierce flesh, hooves crush bone. It's a one-sided fight, and the predator becomes the prey. Even when the lion is down, gasping, bloody and broken, the buffalo keeps going. One final stomp, another charge. The message is clear: no mercy for the hunters today. By the end of this battle, the lion is barely breathing. For the buffalo, this is more than protection. This is domination. This isn't just a story of survival. It's about raw power, strategy, and the terrifying realization that not all prey will run. Some will fight back hard. Pufferfish, outsmarts, predator. In the ocean's hidden battleground, brute strength often takes the spotlight, but sometimes it's the brainy survivors that steal the show. In this intense underwater standoff, we witness a dramatic encounter between two very different fish, the mighty grouper and the deceptively delicate pufferfish. At first glance, this looks like a one-sided match. Groupers are large, heavy-bodied predators that lurk near coral reefs, ambushing their prey with sudden bursts of power. Pufferfish, on the other hand, seem vulnerable, with their soft bodies and slow movement. But the truth beneath the surface is far more surprising. As the scene unfolds, the grouper makes its move. It lunges forward, seizing the pufferfish in a powerful snap of its jaws. For a brief moment, it seems like the end. But this isn't just any fish, it's a master of last-second escapes. With lightning-fast instinct, the pufferfish inflates its body, expanding to several times its normal size. The grouper, caught off guard, struggles to deal with the sudden change. Its jaw, built to gulp down prey whole, is now completely ineffective. Here's where it gets even more intriguing. The pufferfish doesn't just inflate, it waits. It times its next move with uncanny precision. Then, in one sharp motion, it deflates just enough to slip through the predator's jaws and escape. The grouper, stunned and frustrated, is left with nothing but empty water in its mouth. This moment isn't just a quirky fish trick. It's a brilliant example of how evolution can arm the seemingly weak with tools to outwit even the most dominant predators. We hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more amazing stories.